From there, who has heard of NFPA 70B? 70 Bravo. All right. What about NFPA 70 Echo? All right, probably more people, right? So here to talk about what NFPA 70 Bravo is and why it is important. In 2023, this went from a recommended to a mandatory standard by NFPA, which means that it can be cited, right? If you were to have an event that's similar to NFPA 70 Echo, you can now be cited by OSHA for that standard. It was a change that kind of went under the radar, and not a lot of people know about it, and quite frankly, a lot of people don't know how to meet the standard. So that's what's behind this presentation, is trying to prepare people for what we're trying to do globally. So NFPA 70 Echo says you have to have qualified electrical workers per the task to do the work, right? And at safety conference, they talked about that standard. NFPA 70 Bravo says that you have to maintain the equipment that the workers are working on, right? You can't have a qualified electrical worker go work on something that's not maintained, because it puts them in danger. So that's how these three work together under the National Electrical Code. So, the standard itself is built around an electrical maintenance plan for each station, each area. So this building itself really should have an electrical maintenance plan, because they have high voltage components, right? And so you build an electrical maintenance plan, and then you define the intervals for maintenance for those components. And it has to be tracked and maintained. It's not like we currently do an evaluation of maintenance at a plant. We set it and forget it. It has to be maintained. It has to be, every year you have to do an evaluation of it to make sure that you didn't have, your thermography reports didn't come up and say that this component is at danger of failure, because you should be doing thermography more frequently. So it's called a risk-based strategy that they're using. So we're currently, within my group, we're building a maintenance manual procedure. So similar to any other process we have, NFPA 70 Echoes in the SMP space, and this will reside in the MMP space. So we're developing this. We should have it done by the end of this quarter. And we're working with safety. We're working with the NERC team to make sure we're not crossing any boundaries and make sure we've got it all straight, right? And then basically we'll put the steps in the procedure. Here's how you go from nothing to fully implemented NFPA 70 Bravo program. And then that will serve as your basis that you would implement at the site level. Good. So then the big question is, I was a maintenance manager for 4 years. Somebody put this on my table, I'd be like, man, I got a day job to do here. I can't do this. What are you talking about? This is a lot of work. So that's where we are here to help. And I understand, and this is not a 1 month project. This is going to take some time, because you have to build the electrical maintenance plan. You have to inventory your electrical equipment, which I've done enough CMMS assessments. I know that a lot of breakers are not in your CMMS, right, in Maximo. So, and then you prioritize your equipment. You do a maintenance task schedule. That's the heavy lift as a part of this process. And then, of course, the annual review to make sure that you're keeping your program up to date. So we're asking for a couple of things. Prepare for 2027 in your budgets, to at least take that first step to build an electric maintenance plan. And then we're also asking for some sites to volunteer as pilots, so we can do this in the second half of the year, work together, build the process, make sure it's right, just like we do anything else. Do the pilot, and then cement it for 2027. So with that, Dave, anything that you would like to speak, because we're working with safety on this to make sure that we've got it squared away. Any additional comments that you would like to make? Good.
Yeah, I think, what I'm about to say about 70B, definitely it's about electrical equipment maintenance. And that's why we're, shooting to make it, expanding existing NMP in order to accomplish it. Similar to like we're doing this year with 70E with a qualified electrical worker, is putting something together, putting it out there, is given the entire year for you to get knowledgeable of it and massage it and then try to implement it. Okay. It's unique. It is a technical standard now. Right now, there's really not a regulator that has picked it up. Where I think we in NAES will see this come about, and maybe some of you have already had conversations, is first with your client. Your client may have asked you, hey, this is now a technical standard. What is NAES doing about it? This is the beginning of that app. Okay. The other place you might hear it is from your insurance generator. Now that it's out there, it's the highly probable entity that would push this forward are the insurance carriers to live, what equipment have you identified, especially your critical equipment? What are you going to maintain? Okay. And where's your program to maintain? Trying to use everything that we do now, your CMMS system, Maximo and all that, loading it up. If you have that loaded with a lot of your equipment already, and your manufacturers and select things and their periodicity of performing maintenance and all that, you're a good way there. Okay. But we just need to build the overarching program that collects all that under this, under the guise of this technical standard and what this technical standard asks for. I think it's really good for our industry, the way the standard is written, because not only first does it default to what does the manufacturer say about maintenance of it, but it also throws in a caveat of what environment is the equipment in. Is it in the environment that was manufactured for, or is it outside and it's really indoor equipment, all that? And it starts to throw that variable that can change your periodicity of maintenance and inspection. So this year is the year of education. You'll probably hear us either put out bulletins of the things or something from safety and all that, tries to educate us more on 70B. And then in 2027, have this plan together to try to capture the real information and put it together under a plant level program. One of the things that we're doing right now is we've done for the past year, since 2015, 2 courses in 70E. We have now got NFPA, because they like us so much, they're actually going to combine and I think a 3-day courses, be 2 days of 70E and 1 day of 70B.
Thank you. Yeah. Anybody hit me up with questions or if you'd like to volunteer for this year. So Jim Forehand. Thank you.